Morning and howdy, everybody. Let me ask y'all something. A couple of weeks ago, I told y'all I needed a new cable adapter. I couldn't find it anywhere around here, so I ordered it on Amazon. It goes from a 3.5 millimeter to a USB-C port. Well, it came in yesterday. I can't remember what the heck I needed it for now. Do y'all remember? I told y'all at the time I ordered it. Were y'all paying attention? And I don't know which video it was in. Anyway, I got my 3.5 millimeter to USB-C port adapter, and I don't know what to use it for. Hey y'all, as we read through the Bible together, we're gonna finish 2 Chronicles. If I can breathe for 2 more chapters. Y'all, I know you're praying for me, and I appreciate it. This is kicking my rear end, y'all. My legs, I can't get the camera down to where they are, and I sure can't get them to where I am, but the calf of my leg is about that big around. The calf, not the thigh, but the calf. It's about that big around. I can't get my compression socks on anymore, support socks. There ain't no way they'll go on my feet. My feet are huge. I hadn't tried putting my feet in shoes, but I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna fit in none of the shoes I got. They hadn't been able to fit in boots in a couple of months. I got a pair of Skechers shoes, and I need to shave, y'all. I know that. I just can't stand up for long. I got a pair of Skechers shoes that I bought after all this mess started. And normally I wear a size 12 or 13 shoe. That's American size. I found a size 14 Skechers shoe, and I bought it. Those suckers were expensive, but I bought them, and that's what I've been wearing. I can't even get those on now. So something's got to give, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, y'all. I keep praying. It's almost like God's got wax in his ears and can't hear me. But my faith does not waver. I've got faith. The only talking I do is to y'all in Cali and God. And I don't have hardly any breath to talk to anybody, y'all. And that ain't no lie. I don't have breath to do anything. I started to whip up a recipe yesterday to have something to eat for my supper last night. And I didn't have the air of the breath to do it. I don't even remember if I don't think I even ate. Oh yeah, I ate some yogurt and some granola bars. That was my supper. Because I didn't have the air to breathe, to stand and cook. So I didn't. Let me get started reading here before I use all of my air flapping my jaws. Chapter 35 of 2 Chronicles. I hope y'all can hear me. Let me scoot you a little bit closer here. I got my 2 earbuds in today. This new one I got Oh, it's plugged in. I'll unplug it. It's been plugged in all night. And speaking of all night, I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock this morning. And I wasn't in bed but a couple hours and I was back up again. Anyway, this new one here, I don't like it. I don't know if y'all can hear me in it. But for me, listening to sermons during the day, it ain't cutting it. So that's that. And that sucker was expensive. It was a real expensive one. I like these here I got now, one in each ear. Hope y'all can hear me all right. Chapter 35 of 2 Chronicles. Moreover, Josiah kept a Passover unto the Lord in Jerusalem, and they killed the Passover on the 14th day of the first month. And he set the priests in their charges and encouraged them to the service of the house of the Lord, and said unto the Levites that taught all Israel, which were holy unto the Lord, put the holy ark in the house which Solomon the son of David, king of Israel, did build. It shall not be a burden upon your shoulders. Serve now the Lord your God and his people Israel. Bam, y'all. That's a pretty potent commandment right there, y'all. And I know he was talking to the people in Jerusalem. But listen, this is one for us too. Serve now the Lord your God. That's what we need to do right up until our last breath is breathed. He certainly is worthy. He commands that we do that. So we need to get off of our duff and do it, y'all. Serve the Lord your God. And prepare yourselves by the house of your fathers after your courses, according to the writing of David, king of Israel, and according to the writing of Solomon his son. Y'all go to my community page. I wish I got a lot of people over there that all they do is look at my pictures at my community page. I wish they'd come listen to the videos, and I wish y'all would go to my community page. I posted a bunch of good stuff there this morning, and I think I got a couple more to post, but I had to stop and do the video. I saw Lloyd was back with us again. The old guy, I don't know where he's been traveling, but I don't think he's at home. He travels all over the world. But he's back this morning. He's been on there rattling my cage. I've been ignoring him pretty much so far, but I'll get on there, Lord, and I'll respond to you later. Prepare yourselves by the houses of your fathers after your courses, according to the writing of David, king of Israel, and according to the writing of Solomon his son, and stand in the holy place according to the divisions of the families of the fathers of your brethren the people, and after the division of the families of the Levites. Speaking of families and speaking of king, father, and son, y'all paying attention to what's going on between Joe Biden, king of America, and his son Hunter? Goodness gracious, y'all. All that stuff going on, nobody can make that up. That's beyond crazy. Both of them needs to be in prison. Is what they need. the king of America needs to be executed for treason. Anyway, I'll get down off my soapbox. Stand in the holy place according to the divisions of the families of the fathers of your brethren, the people, and after the division of the families of the Levites. So kill the Passover and sanctify yourselves and prepare your brethren, that ye may do according to the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses and y'all. We should always do according to the word of the Lord. Bam, y'all, right there you go. Verse 7 of chapter 35, 2 Chronicles. And Josiah gave to the people of the flock lambs and kids, all for the Passover offering. And kids here ain't talking about kids like we talk about. He's talking about young goats or young sheep, not kids like our kids. All for the Passover offerings for all that were present, to the number of 30,000 and 3,000 bullocks. These were of the king's substance. And his princes gave willingly unto the people, to the priests, and to the Levites. Hilkiah and Zechariah and Jehiel, rulers of the house of God, gave unto the priests for the Passover offerings 2,600 small cattle and 300 oxen. That's a lot of steaks they sacrificed there, y'all. 600 small cattle and 300 oxen. Conaniah also, and Shemaiah, and Nathaniel his brother, and Hashabiah, and Jael, and Josabed, chief of the Levites, gave unto the Levites for Passover offerings 5,000 small cattle and 500 oxen. That's a whole bunch more steaks, y'all. So the service was prepared, and the priests stood in their place, and the Levites in their courses, according to the king's commandment. And they killed the Passover, and the priests sprinkled the blood from their hands, and the Levites flayed them. And they removed the burnt offerings, that they might give according to the divisions of the families of the people, to offer unto the Lord, as it is written in the book of Moses. And so they did with the oxen. And they roasted the Passover with fire according to the ordinance, but the other holy offerings sod they in pots and in cauldrons and in pans, and divided them speedily among all the people. And afterward they made ready for themselves and for the priest, because the priests, the sons of Aaron, were busied in offering of burnt offerings and the fat until night. Therefore the Levites prepared for themselves and for the priests, the sons of Aaron. And the singers of the sons of Asaph were in place according to the commandment of David, and Asaph and Heman and Jeduthun the king's seer, and the porters waited at every gate, they might not depart from their service, for their brethren the Levites prepared for them. Oh. So all the service of the Lord was prepared the same day to keep the Passover, and to offer burnt offerings upon the altar of the Lord according to the commandment of King Josiah. And the children of Israel that were present kept the Passover at that time and the feast of unleavened bread for 7 days. And there was no Passover like to that kept in Israel from the days of Samuel the prophet, neither did all the kings of Israel keep such a Passover as Josiah kept, and the priests, and the Levites, and all Judah and Israel that were present, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. In the 18th year at the reign of Josiah was this Passover kept. After all this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, came up to fight against Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, What have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah? I came not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For God commanded me to make haste, forbear thee from meddling with God, who is with me. Now he destroy thee not. Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but disguised himself that he might fight with him, and hearkened not unto the words of Necho from the mouth of God, and came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. And the archers shot at King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, Have me away, for I am sore wounded. Let me get a sip of coffee, y'all. Excuse me. Oh, that's some good stuff right there, y'all. Goodness gracious. It is Folgers Black Silk, I think it's called. It's their dark roast coffee. I think it's called Black Silk. That's some good stuff, y'all. His servants therefore took him out of that chariot and put him in the second chariot that he had, and they brought him to Jerusalem. I guess the second one was like an ambulance chariot or something. I don't know. Why would they take him out of one and put him in the other one? Unless the first one got a flat tire or something. I guess those tires on the chariots didn't go flat, did they? I don't know why they took him out, but they did. And he died and was buried in one of the sepulchres of his father. And all Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah. And Jeremiah lamented for Josiah, and all the singing men and the singing women spake of Josiah in their lamentations to this day, and made them an ordinance in Israel, and behold, they are written in the Lamentations. And we already read Lamentations, so y'all just going to have to use your memory and think back to that, because I ain't going to go back there and read it again for you. Or you can go back there and read it on your own. Read the Lamentations of Josiah if you're interested. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah and his goodness according to that which was written in the law of the Lord, and his deeds, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. And we've read those books also, y'all. Matter of fact, there ain't many books we hadn't read yet. Now, I'm going to wrap them up pretty fast. So, Lord, you need to stick close to home. Keep up with us instead of wandering all over the world. I'm going to be whooping out these last few chapters pretty fast. Or these last few books, I mean, which has chapters in them, so I wasn't wrong. Chapter 36 of 2 Chronicles. Then the people of the land took Jehoahaz, the son of Josiah, and made him king in his father's stead in Jerusalem. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. And the king of Egypt put him down at Jerusalem and condemned the land in 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. And the king of Egypt made Eliakim, his brother, king over Judah and Jerusalem, and turned his name to Jehoiakim. And Necho, every time I see the word Necho, I think about nacho, and it makes me hungry. I love nachos. But this isn't nacho, this is Necho. Took Jehoahaz his brother and carried him to Egypt. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. Against him came up Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and bound him in fetters to carry him to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar also carried of the vessels of the house of the Lord to Babylon and put them in his temple at Babylon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim and his abominations which he did, and that was found in him, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, and Jehoiakim his son reigned in his stead. Y'all excuse me. I got stuff wanting to come out and it won't come out. Jehoiachin was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. An 8-year-old reigning as king, doing that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. And when the year was expired, King Nebuchadnezzar sent and brought him to Babylon with the goodly vessels of the house of the Lord, and made Zedekiah his brother king over Judah and Jerusalem. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. If the Lord was his God, I don't think he would have been doing evil. And humbled not himself before Jeremiah the prophet, speaking from the mouth of the Lord. And he also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar, who had made him swear by God, but he stiffened his neck and hardened his heart from turning unto the Lord God of Israel. Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Lord, which he had hallowed in Jerusalem. Let me see if I can get set up straight here. Y'all, is that better? It feels better on my back, I tell you that. All right, and the Lord God of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of God and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy. Therefore, he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young man or maiden, old man, or him that stooped for age. That's probably me. I think I stoop for age now. He gave them all into his hand, and all the vessels of the house of God, great and small, and the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king and of his princes, all these he brought to Babylon. And they burnt the house of God and brake down the wall of Jerusalem, and burnt all the palaces thereof with fire, and destroyed all the goodly vessels thereof. Y'all keeping up with me here? I'm going kind of slow today, so y'all should be able to keep up with me. At least I ain't chasing rabbits all over the countryside. I could, though. I sure could. There's a lot of rabbits out there that needs to be chased. Goodness gracious, y'all. Y'all watching the news? I try not to. And them that had escaped from the sword carried he away to Babylon, where they were servants to him and his sons until the reign of the kingdom of Persia, to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, until the land had enjoyed her Sabbaths. For as long as she lay desolate, she kept Sabbath, to fulfill 70 years. That's a lot. That's 70 years. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord spoken by the mouth of Jeremiah might be accomplished, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, all the kingdoms of the earth hath the Lord God of heaven given me, and he hath charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Who is there among you of all his people? The Lord his God be with him, and let him go up. All right, y'all. That was the last sentence in 2 Chronicles. We're done with 2 Chronicles. Bam, y'all. So I'll be back with some more Bible readings, y'all. I might be back 3 or 4 times today with the short one here and there. We got to get this wrapped up while I can still breathe. And I don't know how much longer that is, so I got to hustle and get on the ball here. I promised y'all I'd read the Bible, the whole Bible to you this year. Year's just a little bit over halfway, and we're going to finish the Bible while I can still breathe. And it's going to be a long time before the year's over. I don't think this year's going to end. Well, it'll end, but I think we true Christians are going to be gone before the year ends. I really do think that. And I may sneak out of here ahead of y'all. I have no idea what God's plan for me is. I feel like I could go home today, but I got to finish reading the Bible for you first. I'm ready, but I got stuff to do first. I made y'all a promise, and I'm a promise keeper. Y'all behave, stay cuddled up close to God, and you do that by living in His Word and on your knees praying to Him. And King David would even dance and sing to Him. I think I'd scare him off if I tried to dance or sing to him, so I won't do that. But you can do that if you can do it. I just can't do it. I can't dance for sure. I can barely stand up and walk. I can't dance. And if I sang to him, that would get my name erased out of the book of life, and I don't want that to happen. So I reckon I won't be singing to the Lord. But I do talk to Him a lot, and I enjoy that time. Anyway, I've flapped my jaws too long. I'll let y'all go. I love you. We done with Chronicles now, y'all. And I'll be back with some more good stuff from God's holy word, from my heart to yours. God bless you, friends.